Hello and welcome to today's episode of Thomas Cook Study Buddy, all about studying abroad. आज हम स्टूडेंट वीजा एप्लीकेशन के लिए रिक्वायर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट्स पे बात करेंगे. But before that, please hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our updates. The essential stage of the student visa process is gathering the correct documents for your chosen student visa. Each destination will have a different set of document requirements as per their immigration norms. Now, most countries have an online method to upload the documents. However, few destinations still rely on sending hard copies of the documents via courier services. Let us take you through a couple of countries and their student visa application process. The documents required for a US student visa are as follows: a student acceptance letter from a SEVP approved school. All students must have a valid registration in the Student and Exchange Visitor System. Your passport must be valid for a minimum of 6 months beyond the stay in the United States. You will need to upload a passport-sized photo while completing the online form DS-160. And please make sure you save a copy of the form DS-160 non-immigrant visa application confirmation page. You'll also need an application fee payment receipt, a certificate of eligibility for non-immigrant visa for academic and language students, that's an F1 visa, and your Form I-20, or certificate of eligibility for non-immigrant visa for vocational students, that's an M1 visa, along with your Form I-20. Now, in case you are married and moving to the US on a student visa, you and your school authorities must officially sign the I-20 form along with your spouse and minor children. That's if they intend to move to the US with you. You'll also need the previous academic transcripts such as your degrees, diplomas, or certificates. A standardized entrance or language test score, like your TOEFL score, required by your US school. You'll also need a letter demonstrating you intend to leave the US upon completion of the course. And finally, finance documents demonstrating how you will pay for the education, living, and travel expenses. The documents required for a Canada student visa are as follows: a letter of acceptance granted by the Designated Learning Institute or DLI, a passport for your proof of identity, Canadian dollars 10,000 or about 6.15 lakhs at the time of this recording that excludes your tuition fee, a letter of explanation detailing your goals and purpose of studying in Canada under your student visa application. Now, you can demonstrate your proof of funds by having a Canadian bank account in your name if you have wired money to Canada, a guaranteed investment certificate or GIC in a registered Canadian financial institution such as CIBC, Scotiabank, ICICI, SBI, etc. By the way, your Thomas Cook Study Buddy can also help you in opening a GIC account. You're also going to need a proof of student or educational loan, bank statements for the last 4 months, and a bank draft that can be converted to CAD, that's Canadian dollars, as well as proof of tuition fee and housing rent that's been paid. And finally, a letter from a school or person sponsoring you, or a proof of funding like a scholarship. The documents required for a UK student visa are as follows: a current passport or travel documentation, confirmation of acceptance for studies, that's CAS, from your registered university. You need to demonstrate proof that you have sufficient funds to support your stay and study. Now, this will of course vary depending on the circumstances and your university. A valid ATAS certificate if required. And if you're under 18, you need to provide proof of parental or legal guardian consent and proof of your relationship. You also got to need a TB or tuberculosis test result. And finally, a sponsorship letter along with written consent from your financial sponsor for your application. The documents required for a Germany student visa are as follows: 2 filled national visa application forms, a valid passport, 2 passport-sized photographs, and an admission letter from a German educational institution in a foundation course, propedeutic course, or a preparatory German language course. Proof of German language proficiency such as DSH, TestDAF, GDS, or DSD. Proof of English proficiency such as TOEFL or IELTS. Earlier educational qualifications or transcripts. A resume or CV. student health insurance for a minimum of 30,000 euros, and a motivational letter explaining your reasons for choosing this specific university, study program, and destination for your studies. A German student visa application fee, proof of funds to show that you have sufficient money to cover accommodation and study costs, like a blocked bank account. You can also open a German blocked account through India's leading Forex service provider like Thomas Cook. A letter of commitment by a person living in Germany that they will bear all your expenses, and a letter of declaration by a parent for their financial commitment and support. And finally, a scholarship awarding certificate. Here are the documents for an Australian student visa. You're going to need a valid passport, you're going to need 2 passport-size photographs, a proof of enrollment, and electronic confirmation is just fine, a visa application fee, a genuine temporary entrant or GTE statement, previous academic and work experience documents, English proficiency skills documents such as IELTS or PTE test scores, proof of funds such as your documents on financial statements, living expenses, tuition fees and return airfare, your health insurance policy details, that's your overseas student health cover, and a statement of purpose explaining reasons for choosing this specific university, study program and destination for your studies. हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि थॉमस कुक स्टडी बडी ने आज आपके काफी कंफ्यूजन्स क्लियर कर दिए होंगे. So don't forget to check out Thomas Cook, India's leading Forex service provider, for all your overseas educational plans. Feel free to leave a comment down below for any questions that you might have, and we'll be sure to get back to you.